Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me for the Prancing Pony podcast plays. Once again, this is the place to be to. Now I'm trying to remember all the things that I was supposed to memorize by now. Roll dice in Dunland and game in Gondor and show off in the Shire and relax in Rivendell, something like that. Anyway, it is my pleasure to have you join me tonight. Thank you so much. I am really looking forward to what we're going to try to do tonight. It's definitely a little different. I'm hoping that we can pull this off without any technical challenges, but we shall soon see. In the meantime, let me turn on the chat overlay. All right, there we go. Well, hello. And Katie, thank you again for moderating tonight. All right. So the challenge tonight is that I'm actually going to be streaming from my gaming PC through my Mac out to you. So let me go ahead and move the screen over. Don't worry, you won't have to look at the side of my face all night long. All right. Now, let me switch over to my PC. Hold on a minute. Almost ready. Camera. You'd think that I would have had this down to a science. You would be wrong. Okay, Streamer X, high definition, add camera. Hold on. Video settings do not mirror the camera. And boom. And we're going to customize. I'm actually going to hide the chat overlay tonight, I think, because otherwise the screen will be even harder to read. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you want to also check with Twitch. In the meantime, I know that Katie will be posting any questions to me directly in Discord, and that'll enable me to answer questions from both channels. But I think if I leave the overlay on, it's just going to be too hard to see the gaming screen. So say goodbye to that. And then let's make this screen a little bigger. All right. And I'm going to make my screen a little smaller. Goodbye. I'm just going to shrink down into nothing. All right. There we go. All right. And now I'm going to turn on the audio for. Now, in theory, you should be able to hear both me and the music for the game. And I'm going to get confirmation shortly on that from Katie. Okay. And Katie, just a reminder, please, to the extent that you're able, obviously copy and paste any questions, but even any comments that you think that I would enjoy reading. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and roll up an entirely new character for the Lord of the Rings Online. Now, just some background. I have been playing this game. Well, playing is a stretch. I've owned this game since shortly after it came out in, I cannot remember. It's been so long. And it is an older game. There's no doubt about it, but it's just a fantastic community. It's been around for a long time, and it's a wonderful adaptation of Tolkien. It's one of my favorite adaptations, really, in terms of just its depth of lore. So I've got a bunch of characters I've been playing forever. I've also been a lifetime VIP because I was able to purchase that very early on. So I know how fortunate I am in that regard. All right. Katie, is everything coming through in terms of audio, and does the balance sound right? Are you able to hear the music but still hear my voice? And keep in mind, I will not be able to see on the chat. I'll need to see in Discord. All right. Okay. All right. So there are all sorts of races. For those of you who've never played the game before, there are all sorts of races that you can choose from. There are different starting stories for each. There are mild racial differences. The dwarves are stocky, so they get a little penalty to their agility, but they are unwearying in battle, so they can regenerate their in combat morale a little more quickly. But the tiny racial differences disappear by the time you're a higher level. So we've got men, we've got high elves, we have dwarves, we have the stout axe dwarves, which have a sort of a different backstory, hobbits and river hobbits. We have elves, standard elves as opposed to high elves, so Sindarin. Then we have the Beornings, which are the only race to also be their own class. But I'm going to try something I've never tried. If you come back to my characters, if we exit creation, you'll see that I have a number of characters, most of whom I've not played that much, but my mains are Halagrim, a hobbit hunter, and Durthal, a man captain who I need to level up desperately. All right. So creating a new character, I do love me a Beorning. I mean, who doesn't like to turn into a bear every now and then and just maul your opponents? But I already have one, you see. What's that? Now I'm stuck with Monty Python and the Hook. I would tell him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He already has one. So I'm going to try something I've never tried, both racially and as a class. I am going to try the relatively recent River Hobbits, the last of their kind remaining east of the Misty Mountains. In fact, let's watch the little video on them, shall we?
The little folk who once dwelt along the river Underwing go by many names. Some use would be blood, others follow hard, but many take the name given to their distant kin, calling themselves river hobbits. Unlike those others who departed the vales for distant lands in times of old, they have hidden for centuries in the dells of the Misty Mountains, protected from danger and glimpsed by few. Yet sometimes one of their kind ventures forth, following secret paths in search of other little folk who fared west across Middle Earth long ago.
All right, so we'll do a River Hobbit, but I'm going to try a class that I've not tried. Now, you'll see that as the River Hobbit, I can choose all the classes except for a Beorning. That's not true for everybody. There are some limitations. It used to be, by the way, that if you wanted to be a captain, you had to be a man. I like that they've opened that up, but I remember that's actually why I created Durthal as a man character, so I could play the captain role, because it's most like, I thought it would be most like a paladin, because it's sort of a warrior light who has the ability to heal. So I really enjoy that captain character. But we're going to try the maybe not. Class difficulty advanced. Katie, I think, and you're welcome to give me your opinion here in our little chat, I think maybe we go ahead and just do another hunter, because I'm good with that class, and this is more about enjoying the story. And hunters can travel around the world awfully quickly, so let's go with that. In the meantime, is there anything in the chat that I need to be caught up on? I feel like I'm going to go ahead and turn my head here so I can catch up on chat, because I know Katie can't copy and paste every single comment that's been made. So let's see here. Oh, man, so many comments. All right. It is always more difficult when you're all staring at me. Okay, I'm glad that you could hear. Yeah, brand new character. I'm really looking forward to this. Yes, it is, Higgy Baby, but here's the funny thing. You won't be able to when I'm in the starting area, because I'm literally just starting. Stout Axe for the win. I do love my Stout Axe Guardian. That's the first Guardian I ever rolled, and I really enjoy him. He's still low level. Everyone's favorite race, favorite class. I'm glad you're asking that question, Katie. I hope that people enjoy that. All right. Scrolling. Yeah, I'm someday I'll do a brawler, but I think Cowardice. Just do it. Thanks, Slice. I do like the idea of a hunter just for getting around the world, you know? All right. The difference in the game between river hobbits and regular hobbits, that is a good question. Let's take a look. So the regular hobbits, and I have one, of course. Halagrim is a hunter. They get -1 might, but +1 vitality. So of course they're not as strong, but they're a little more tough. Remember in the prologue we read that hobbits are doughty at bay and tough to kill. They are in fact tough to kill. They recover their morale very quickly. For those who don't play the game, morale is essentially their life. And power is essentially like energy or mana if you're comparing it to any other games along those lines. They resist fear and they resist corruption. River hobbits actually have extra agility, but because they've been so secluded, they have a little less will, seldom venturing from their secret vales. Seclusion breeds mistrust, and isolation saps the will to resist temptation. They also are good swimmers, so they apparently can handle a little bit of cold, and they are good with daggers. So there you go. Not quite sure why, but they are. Probably because, really, what's a hobbit going to use other than a dagger? I don't even think the regular hobbits have that. No, they don't. All right. So that's the difference in game. But what's cool about it is I'm going to get an entirely different starting area. And what's fun about this tonight is it's a starting area I've never seen. So this is going to be all new to me, and I'm excited to do that. All right, here we go. Oh, now I got to create him. Names. What are we going to do for names? We've got Halagrim, who's my primary hobbit, but this guy can't be named after him because he's a river hobbit. So, I'm going to randomize and then pick one from there. No. Hilleland is not going to be my Rody Hall. No. Ferrari. I can hear you now, Slice. Just click start is what you're saying. But no, I'm not going to let him be named Ferrari. Rothwald. It's a little gothic for me. Yes. Mahalmar. Mahalmar. That's Mahal is the name that the dwarves call Aule, so I don't think Mahalmar. Wingaren, Dudan, Friduseth, Gefrith, Gorthodok. Okay, Gorthodok. That could be a good name. All right, we'll leave with yeah. I normally would go to realelvish.net or eldamo.org and try to come up with a name. And I should have done that before I started, and I'm really feeling silly about that. But Gorthodok could come back to that. Cadmar, Thurufrith. Maybe tonight's stream will just be me reading the random names. Amaladok, Ediberth, Gerthal. That's funny. Gerthal is very similar sounding to Dirthal, my human captain's name. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. +1 for Kim. What did Kim say? Name him Kim. Balderfrith. Armbert. Wiedemann. Ludefrith. Ludefrith. Man, that is just Ludefrith. I can't believe anybody would think that. Or that is the most unusual combination of consonants ever. Ordkvan. Gundagirn. Bermfrith. Brockvan. Win. Brochred. Brochred. That's good enough. All right. The game did bring up F1 first. I mean, it was seriously, we got Ferrari. Now, I know that the music is quiet for you all because I haven't figured out how to pipe the music from the game and my voice from the mic through the same mixer and out to the stream. So you're actually hearing what my mic is picking up. It's actually very loud to me. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit as I go through this creation process. Name him Kemen. Let's see if it'll even allow that. That's Kemen means earth, by the way. So I think it's going to say no to that. But let's take a look at his presets. Oh, a little redheaded freckled guy. An already bald guy. Yeah, that's great. No, I don't need less hair than I already have. All right, I'm going to start with that preset. No, let's make a little redhead guy with the freckles. All right, 5 hours of Alan trying to pronounce names. I might take you up on that. We might actually make a stream for that. All right. I know he's a hobbit, but we're going to make him a really tall hobbit. Skin color. Yeah, I like the real pasty. I'm sorry, fair skin. Head. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of that. I think you can change some of that stuff in game. Maybe only like haircuts and stuff. I don't remember. But let's take a look at his hair. Let's change his hair. No, I don't want him looking like that. Ah, there we go. Well, yeah. Well, I'm getting so caught up in the minutia. But I told you all that I would do character creation with you, so though it'll cost money, of course it will. I wonder, since I'm a lifetime VIP, there are a lot of things that I don't have to pay for. Ooh, maybe I'll make him bald. Just flat out bald. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I honestly would feel like I was culturally appropriating some of those hairstyles. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Sort of a tousled. All right. I'm not going to bother with eyebrows. Nose, jaw, mouth. He looks decent enough to me. All right. I'm pretty sure. Oh, starting tutorial, Shadows of Angmar or Before the Shadow? Let's do Before the Shadow. So I'd forgotten that we get to do 2 potential intros. Wait a minute. Actually, Katie, let me ask you. If I do Shadows of Angmar, that's going to give me the custom start for this race, or is that going to give me something different? I'm looking here in Discord to see if you know off the top of your head whether will it be custom for him as a river hobbit if I pick Before the Shadow, or will it just get the... Oh, let's give it a go. I really do like the Before the Shadow, and I've only done it with one character. So, all right. And 2 people saying I should get the race start either way. All right. So I'm going to hit OK to that. And then we're going to be told that I cannot use the name Kemen. That name is taken. All right. Kementari. No, that's Farda's nickname. We're not going to do that. Let's see. The Perneloth reference. That is actually, that's the only time I've ever done the Before the Shadow tutorial. Let's try another random name and just... I'm going to... Faradoc. Okay, that works for me. Faramir Meriadoc. Faradoc. That name is taken. Well, then why give it to me? Why tell me that I can take the name Faradoc? It might have. Lewis Hamilton. That name is taken. All right. So some examples. It's telling me the naming guidelines for river hobbits use the olden names of their kind drawing on ancient Celtic and Germanic tongues. So common name endings are all those others. So we're going to use and common prefixes are. So why don't we use something like I'm going to go with Hilburn. Let's see if that works. Aha! Welcome, Hilburn, to Middle Earth. All right. And he is a level 1 river hobbit hunter. Little poor little guy. All right. Here we go. Enter Middle Earth. When I was testing this out earlier, at the very end of our test, we realized that it may be that the text is a little small for you. Oh, yeah. Burninate in the countryside, burninate in the hills. Okay. All right, let me turn up the audio.
The last homely house east of the sea. Let's move a little before the shadows deepen. From where did your road lead?
All right, so of course it's telling me about inventory and that I can click on all these tabs. This is for truly new players who've never played around with the interface at all. I'll eventually show you some of these things, but over time. This is the tutorial intro. So, yeah, unfortunately, I already have a ton of inventory. Because I'm a lifetime VIP, there's all this stuff like horses and things, which I'm just going to real quickly add to my skill panel so that I don't have them clogging up my inventory. So give me a few minutes as I click through these just to clear out the boxes. Oh, did it skip the intro? That's weird. There should have been a bit in the Vales of Anduin. I would have thought so. Do I delete this guy and start over, Katie? What do you think? Okay, I'm going to delete him and start over. We're going to log out Hilburn. We're going to delete Hilburn. And we're going to try again. I must have had a box checked. I must have had that skip box checked. Are we going to delete Hilburn? Delete Hilburn. Goodbye. All right, now we're going to create Hilburn again if we can. I don't think it'll give us the name again. Okay, randomize. No, not change tutorial. That's weird because I did not say skip the tutorial. That's really weird. Anybody know what's there's a skip option, but I didn't even choose it. And of course, if I do that, I begin my adventures in Archit. Yeah, I can't even choose it, which is interesting. All right, if I choose before the shadow, and we start with this dude again, but this time we change his hair back to 2, and I went all the way around the loop that time. Everything else is fine, except that we want to make him tall. And let's try Hilburn again. I wonder why. That is weird because there's no skip. The only skip option is right here, and it's literally I can't choose it. Yeah, let me I'm going to do that. Oh, you can't use spaces. Yeah. We'll just make him Hilburn and see if it works, and we'll know he's Hilburn the White. Maybe do Shadows of Angmar. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's maybe it's a feature, not a bug. I'm trying, Timothy. The problem was that it started with as though I'd skipped a tutorial, which I don't want to do. It only does it with Shadows of Angmar. Okay, thank you, Joshua. We're going to go ahead and do Shadows of Angmar then. And create character. Hilburn as he should have been. And thank you, Katie. All right. So again, there's going to be a lot of inventory that I have to quickly clear through just to make things workable. And again, probably elements and text may be too small. If they are, let me know, and I will try to. I can't change the size of the inventory boxes for some reason. That isn't something you're allowed to graphically change, but the text, if it's too small, I can probably do that. So, all right. All right, let me just for now plow through the things that I can plow through. What I want to be careful to avoid is I want to be super careful and not open up these like packages that will give me a whole bunch of more stuff that I need to go through. Because some of these are packages like the armor of the elite rider. Well, then that's going to give me 6 or 7 pieces of armor that I got to deal with. So I'm just going to go through some things here. I'm going to try not to be my usual, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Overly organized self, because right now I'm screaming inside at this. Like, no, this is terrible. I can't deal with this. Like, I have to fix this. I have to sort through my inventory. I have to organize things. Well, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Yeah, Katie, all the items I have in game, it's ridiculous. I don't know which ones of these I can actually. Yeah, I mean, really. Okay, no, that's going to give me more stuff. See, that's the problem. Um, okay, that gave me a shield that I probably don't need. Did it equip it for me? I don't know. No. All right. First super chat ever. And Twana, to answer your question, it's actually the third one. I started last Tuesday, but it's the first one that I'm streaming Lotro. Last week I streamed some tabletop stuff. I built some Legos. So come back every Tuesday and Friday. All right. Let's see. Just trying to get rid of some of these things. I don't want to open the gift boxes because that's more stuff. Tome of the Chestnut Corgi because everybody needs a dog to follow them around. I'm just going to get rid of these out of my quick bar, though. I don't need them. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. It's not a real Lotro stream without inventory management. That is so true. Really, Lotro is just inventory management writ large. All right. Look at this. It's night, so it's a little tricky to see everything. We're in the Vales of Anduin. In fact, if I pull up the map, if the map even works, here we are in Lindleby, near Framsburg and the Flood Fells. And you can see the Vales of Anduin are actually to the south. You can see that there, right there, where I'm pointing in the cursor. And if I go out a little bit further, you can see where we're at because we're in the Wells of Langflood up here. So we're actually very near to where the Aothiod once dwelt before they were invited down by Kirion the steward, and Eora led them down to the field of Celebrants, and they were then given Kalanarthon, which became Rohan. So we won't tell them the other thing. Uh-oh. Why am I worried about what are the other things I have to do to be a real streamer? All right. Okay. All right. Coming back in. By the way, the world is huge. I just want it's huge. And they've done a tremendous job of bringing it to life in so many places. Let's turn off the map and go back to the game and actually play. So, Valarak Tuka. Now, I'll read these out because I think the text is probably too small and also because I like to do this. I cannot believe you've truly decided to leave us, Hilburn. I know we have spoken about this possibility for many years, but well, I must admit, I always thought I would be the first of the Halbertland in living memory to leave this hidden vale, and the first to return. You tell Valarak that he is welcome to accompany you, and to his credit and his surprise, he almost considers it. Then he shakes his head. Oh no, he stammers at last. It is a big world out there, they say, and I do not think I'm quite ready to see it. But you are the tallest of us. Well, that's because I did that in character creation. It's really easy. And grew for the longest. If any of us have the courage to leave Misthallow, I believe you are the one. All right. You'd better tell Grandmother Maddie what you have in mind. All right, I think I will. It's a very pretty world. Oh, look at that waterfall off in the distance. Hello there, my young friends. Oh, she's smoking? She is. She's smoking a fine pipe. Oh, and look, it's getting to her as well. Well, take care. We'll see you for supper. And nobody leaves this place. I should probably turn the music back up now that we're not trying to figure out a name. Because the music's really pretty. Let me know if that's audible, by the way. Oh, is that Grandpa? Oh, yeah. The hair threw me. How can I help you, Hilburn? Well, you can let me go. Why is it giving me an already in use? There we go. So what has gotten my Heldrick in all the bother, Hilburn? And I have not seen Valoric this excited since Gisela accidentally doubled the recipe for famous pie fillings. But to speak honestly, it was quite a day for all of us. You tell Grandmother Mattie that the time has finally arrived for you to leave Lindleby, see the wider world, and have an adventure. She nods silently and taps you on the nose, which is apparently what you do to crazy people who want to leave Lindleby. It was bound to happen sooner or later, dear Hilburn. You've always been different in your own way. Now I feel called out. More outgoing than the rest of us, and more curious about what lies beyond the mist-shrouded dells. And taller, too. The blood of the ancient Holbetlin is very strong in you. I've always said it, haven't I, Heldrick? Oh, he stopped listening to me, that old goat. Cannot leave without saying goodbye to your neighbors. So something tells me my quest is going to be to say goodbye to everybody. I can't just get up and leave. Yeah, the music's nice. Talk to... So over here, and I'm going to move the... Okay. I don't think anybody's going to be able to read that on the screen, can they? The instance text. I don't know how to change all of that text size. I will figure that out before the next time, I promise you all. But yeah, it is... it is... Oh, I love that. Just the ambient sound of the breeze and the waterfalls and the bugs. All right. So I got to talk to Ogivatuka down the hill, Villehad on the path to the south, and Irmatuka near the base of the hill. Luckily, again, for those of you who've never played, the little radar shows you where the icons are, where the quests takes you. Hey, Ogiva. You're up early today, Hilburn. Are you planning to... Ogiva's cheerful words trail away into nothing, and her amiable... Well, how was I to know Ogiva was a girl's name? I gave her kind of an unpleasant voice, as a matter of fact. And her amiable expression is replaced with one of shock. This is the day! I knew it! I told Villehad you were going to finally go out and set out on your own wanderings, and sure enough, I was right. I did not know it would be this morning, perhaps not exactly, but I have known for a while that you were planning for just such a journey. That is terribly exciting, Hilburn. You'll go and make us proud, see if you don't. It's a big world out there, I just know it. All right, what does Villehad have to say about this? I'm going to try not to misgender Villehad since I don't know by the name. All right, guy. I'll give you a guy voice. Today is the big day, then. Ogiva's been telling me you're soon to set out on some adventure or another, but I figured it wasn't really our business. I can't imagine leaving Lindleby, but I suppose every one of us is different after all. You be careful out there beyond Misthallow, Hilburn. Who knows what dangers you might run into. The shrews are always getting into my crops and spoiling my lettuce. And I expect there are larger and more dangerous creatures out in the wild world. Giant shrews, I wouldn't doubt it. As a matter of fact, that's a really funny in-joke, because if you've played Lotro for any period of time, you have encountered giant shrews, I promise. Irmatuka. I just cannot believe you are leaving us, Hilburn. Emma Irma wipes away a tear and makes you promise that you will return after you've had your fill of adventure, which means I'll never return. You tell her you are certain to return to Lindleby when you can, when I can, when it's convenient, after you have seen what lies beyond the distant ridges on the horizon. The mountains are awfully tall to be climbed by one of the Horbitlands, she says. I know Valeric says our people went that way once, but he says a lot of things. Maybe you'll be the first of us to see what lies on the other side of them. If that's true, you be sure to come back and tell us all about it. And I got to go further down. Now I feel like I should give these people like really funky voices just for kicks and giggles, but I won't yet. Oh, maybe this guy, Odger.
You're leaving Lindleby in search of adventure? Goodbye then, Hilburn. I'll see you when you return.
I don't know, what's that supposed to be a mix between Kermit and who's the big dude? Wreck-It Ralph. It was like a mix between Kermit and Wreck-It Ralph. I'm not going to do that again. Forgive me. Forgive me, all of you. Oh, you should say goodbye to Croaker, too. He's simply the best frog friend anyone's ever had. You know he is. You definitely say goodbye to Croaker. Be some time before you come back, after all. I have to wait for I have to wait for a frog so I can say goodbye to a frog. I'm sorry, Odger. Coming from the southwest. Oh, there he is. Oh, goblins. You found Croaker, but you also found a troop of snooping goblins.
Now, this is a pleasing little valley, isn't it? All we have to do is clear out the current residents.
Oh, the Hobbitlands show up, and we're going to have some action with the goblins. The love child no one asked for. What do we do? What do we do? Well, you kill them.
I say we name this place Goblin Valley.
I say we call it your doom. Well, no one can stop us from taking it because, oh, that'll help. Thank you, Eagle. You can't fly the ring to Mordor, but you can kill the goblins. Fangland. How would an eagle talk?
What seems to be the problem, small ones?
I imagine they'd be more croaky, more...
What seems to be the problem, little ones? What? Is that all? I heard something else from the loft.
No, see, that would sound like just big chickens. They've got to be majestic. I mean, these are the eagles of Manwë.
I saw the goblins from high above, Hilburn, but I saw something else as well. I saw you bidding farewell to your folk, and I knew your mind. I have known what you intended for several weeks now, and have kept watch upon your steps. I hope you do not mind. I will continue to safeguard your folk, as I have for all the years I have known you, but you will need to be properly equipped if you are to survive the adventures that await you. You do not have the mighty talons of my kind, after all, actually. Though you are unusually tall and strong for one of your folk, you are still very small when compared to the great eagles and to the other peoples you will encounter beyond the ridges that surround your village. These goblins were thieves, and their leader possessed a bag of weapons. Perhaps you should avail yourself of this equipment. The goblin has no claim upon it, and its former owner cannot make use of it any longer. But in your hands, it may yet do some good.
All right, I'll check it out. Let's see what he's got. Come on. There we go. I get to take a gear satchel, which means I've acquired a stick bow and a knife. Great. So, I don't know where they are, manager. There we go. I'll equip them. All right. And now I need to talk to him again. Do not forget to equip your new weapon, Hilburn. I will not be able to protect you when you leave Misthallow, and you will need to rely upon your skills and the equipment you are able to find if you are to survive the challenges ahead of you. It's a dangerous world. Are you sure you want to do this? You know what? If I don't, the game is over. So, yeah, I'll do that. All right. Talk to Grandmother Maddie. Thankfully, she hasn't gone very far. She's right here. I will not ask for you to stay, Hilburn. I see that your mind is made. Grandmother Maddie smiles at you and fondly tugs upon your ear. Never do that again, Grandmother Maddie. That is why I am leaving. Your ear tugging has finally annoyed me to the point that I have to leave Lindleby. Now listen to me, dear one, because this is important and I will not repeat myself. You are to keep your eyes on the road ahead of. She will not repeat herself. I hope she doesn't, because a lot of NPCs in the game do. You to keep your eyes on the road ahead of you, and you will not worry about us. We have Fangland and the other eagles to keep watch over us, and Lindleby will be fine while you are gone. But remember this, we're only letting you go. I see there's freedom. So you can bring help to the folk you find out in that wide and dangerous world. You are to make yourself useful, Hilburn. Well, I guess I'm out of luck. There are people out there who will need your help, and you should help them. I think that is the calling that draws you away from us, and it is only so you can answer it that I will permit you to go. All right. I'm supposed to wave to them. So this is where you get to do an emote. So those of you who don't have not played the game, you just type a slash followed by, in this case, wave, and he'll do a little wave. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm out. And Valaric faints because he's useless. And so you left your family and your friends behind and began your adventure. Weeks later, flames in the night draw your eye and your steps. Weeks later. Oh, well, this is... Maneldir! Sorry, I've played through other stuff with Maneldir. Ho there, are you a friend? I'm glad you came along when you did, friend. I do not know why these Uruks came to burn Mosswort, but I will find out. When you return to the Stourvales, you should warn your folk to lock their doors and beware of creeping shadows. This band of Uruks has been defeated. Not soon enough to keep Mosswort from harm, I am afraid, but there may be others out there. The man pauses and then squints more closely at you. But wait, you are not one of the Stours, are you? There's a bit of Fallowhide in you, I dare say, although I am no expert on the various families of Hobbit. What do you call home? You're a long way from the Shire, if that is where your hearth can be found. But I suppose few who name themselves adventurers can stay for long at home. That is true for me as well. I am named Maneldir, and I was once a ranger. What I am now, well, I suppose I am still learning that. Might the same be said of you? All right. So this is a little pop-up telling me what quests and quest rings are. So you right-click anybody that's got a ring over their head. Epic story quests have a flaming ring. That's why his little ring is on fire. Whereas otherwise it'll just be a regular gold ring. And then there's a little system over here that you see on the map in your upper right-hand corner that will tell you how to get to your tracked quests. All right. I'm going to check the chat real quick and just kind of catch up on everything here. Editorializing sounds. Yes, that's correct. All right. So basically, the intro in the Vales was very brief, but it was a nice chance to get to see Lindleby. So now we're talking to... Okay. Maneldir. Okay, I'm going to try something real quick before I finish this. I know how hard it is to see the UI, so I'm going to try something. Please bear with me as I attempt to do a full screen, but change the resolution to be something like 1920 by 800, maybe double this, which would be 1920 by 800. That's not going to work. They don't have that. So I have an ultra wide, a 21 by 9 monitor, and a lot of games have problems with resolutions that are that funky. So let's try this one and see how this shows up on stream. Oh, washed out the color like crazy, though. Oh, capture format not supported. Well, that's bad. Let's try. So please bear with me as we try to figure this out. There we go. All right. That at least works. And now the text is a little bigger. It's funky for the aspect ratio. So I'm going to try this. Ooh, that's terrible. It's just making everything really stretchy on my screen. Is it stretchy on your screen? Because I can live with it if it's stretchy on mine only. You know what I mean? Like, is his name looking... Okay, good. So it just looks funky to me, and that's because I'm trying to take a 16:9 aspect ratio and stretch it out to a 21:9. Okay, let's take a look here. I know I can make the text bigger in the text box. The problem is then that carries over to when I'm actually playing the game off stream, and that would be really annoying. So, all right. Oh yeah. Wow, I can see what that looks like on the screen. Hilburn, you say? That is an interesting name, and I can tell that there's a story behind it. Actually, there isn't. Though you wish to keep the location of your home a secret, I will not pry. These are dangerous times, and the dangers only seem to increase. So let me have a sip of Coca-Cola. I'm sorry, that was me. The Uruks that attacked Mosswort wore a curious sigil, the mark of a white hand. I do not know its meaning, but I fear it signifies nothing good. Thank you again for your help, Hilburn. Let me know if you are interested in helping me learn the secret of the White Hand and to help Mosswort recover from this attack. The flames will soon die down, and the healing must begin. So I'm going to finish that. And for those of you who never played, the milestone skill enables you to set a milestone in a particular place and then quick travel back to it. Novice is just a status telling me I've gone out of the tutorial. And then the gift pack will have some little goodies for me. Are the Tukas distantly related to the Tooks? They seem similarly numerous. Wiggers and the Bulgers. I don't know. I mean, the split between the hobbits happened a very long time ago, so it would be very distantly related indeed. I wonder if it's just a way for the designers of the game to make it sound similar, to make it feel like there is a connection. That's sort of my feeling on that. I don't have any evidence, but the relation would be so distant because it's been, a couple thousand years by this point. So, all right. So apparently I've gotten some consumables. Wow, I can't see. The inventory is really ugly here now. I'm just going to move these out of the way. I will, before the next time I stream, reorganize and clean this out so you don't have to live with me doing this. Because this is pretty annoying, I will tell you. And I would not want to watch somebody doing this. All right. So I also have mail that I need to check. Oh, that's just telling me that I have a title awarded, and it's actually several titles because I have supported various, what do they call them? Supporter packs and things like that. So those have given me titles that I can apply. No, they don't get to sit through you organizing my inventory. No, Bree Crossroads, Katie, they do not. You get to if you'd like. Yeah. What should I take? I'm going to be Hilburn of Misthallow. That will be my title. So people will see me as Hilburn of Misthallow. There has been a deed that's bestowed. Get used to that. The thing about Lotro that makes it so eminently replayable and you explore a region forever are the deeds. These keep track of all of the things that you accomplished in Middle-earth. So in this case, the mini-folk of the Glanduin, I have to find all the various towns. And for that, I'll get a measly 5 points, as well as a title called Traveler of Swan Fleet. So, and there's lots and 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 lots of deeds. Quest item. What quest item did I get? Oh, it's the Athildin coin that I can turn into various people. I won't be able to for a while because I'm not near these places, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to turn off the inventory and talk to Maneldir here. The inevitable heap of stuff in bags. Yes, that is so correct. So in this case, he wants me to treat the wounds of injured residents of Mosswort, and I'll get some rewards for that. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. And in this case, I've been given a quest item. Don't even know what it is, but treat the wounds of the injured residents. So it just means that I'm going to go around and I'm going to help each person. They're going to say thank you. I'm going to help another one here. Turn into various peoples. I like that, actually. Oh. Well, sure, I'll accept the quest, but I'm not going to do it right now. I need to find somebody else that's hurt. Somebody over here, maybe? No, she's got more quests for me, though. So I want to find another hurt person. There we go. Hey, you look hurt. Let me use you to fulfill my quest. I appreciate the help, but I think I'll just lie here a moment more. All right, let's talk to Beneldir. Thank you, Hilburn. The people of Mosswort sometimes look down upon the rangers that were once my kin. I feel like there's a story there. But they do welcome their aid when it is offered. My former chieftain Strider. May say the distrust of such folk does not bother him, but if that is true, he is a better man than I am. A pained look crosses Beneldir's face. That is true for many reasons, Hilburn. I have not called the Dunedain my kin for some time now, but I would never question Strider's integrity or his courage. Well, it's a good thing, because I'd have to smack you if you did. But look here, the Uruk that led this band has something in his hand. See if you can't wrest it from his grip. Wait a minute, you're a former ranger, and you need a river hobbit to try to wrest something out of his grip? Well, he is dead, so maybe that'll help. You wrest a scrap of parchment from Uruk's death grip. Read the scrap of parchment.
Gornar prakat turkul dalgum. Gornar zabat katar.
Okay. Let's see if this parchment holds any clues for us. Beneldir briefly studies the crumpled parchment, but then he looks up disappointed. There's my disappointed look.
I cannot read much of this. If this were an ordinary day, I would be grateful to have no reason to understand the black speech. But on this day, it is a cause for frustration. Hold, Hilburn. What has happened to this Uruk's blade? It did not fall far from his body unless my eyes were somehow deceived.
His real name you'll have to discover for yourself. Oh, man. Why does it hurt so much? Investigate what has excited the children to the northwest in Mosswort. Okay, well, I can follow a compass. The northwest is this direction. I'll pick up a quest while I'm here. What does she want me to do?
Would you do something for me?
I have to reassure some critters? There's an anxious chicken. Sometimes I feel like a perturbed cow. Which is funny because I never felt like a nervous goat, but I need to go find one. There he is. The nervous goat seems slightly less nervous. All right, I'll talk to Seren. That's her first name. Her last name is Dippity. Wasn't that lovely? They seem more at ease already. I could use some help cleaning up their droppings. Wait, where are you going? Oh. I've leveled up. I am level 2. And I've gotten mail, which is nice. Some inventory items have been transferred to your wallet. Thank you for doing that. You've earned your first trait point, so I can now open my traits panel. Spend hard-earned trait points on new skills and enhancements. In this case, I'm going to choose the Bowmaster. And I'm going to choose... So this is how you spec your character as they grow. I mean, really, at this level, you're not making significant changes. But the idea is that traits enable you to... let me turn the audio down. I know it's relatively quiet for you, but it's super loud for me and literally can't hear myself think. Though I guess I should have just muted it, really. Hold on a minute. Okay. So traits, for those of you who don't play the game, are the way that you sort of individualize your character within their class. So in the case of a hunter, for instance, I have the ability to set traits that would make him more of a what we might call a turret, somebody who stands still but can do big damage to characters. Or you might make him maybe a little less damaging but more mobile, and so you do the huntsman. Or maybe you want him to be somebody who can trap your opponents and do things that cause them to struggle, like what we call debuffs, where you cause them to suffer more damage when other people hit them, things along those lines. In my case, I like the Bowmaster set of traits, but those are just the lines of traits, because within those are the individual traits, and those traits give you skills sometimes, and other times they just give you stat buffs. So, for example, right here, the critical eye trait at level 1 gives me plus 1% for ranged critical chance. So nothing much to speak of. At some point, for those of you who are more interested, I can load up one of my advanced characters and show you what a fully filled out trait tree would look like. Because once you've chosen a spec, each trait in that spec costs you 1 trait point. But you can take the traits from the other trees, they just cost you 2 points each. So it's a really good way to customize and build your character for the way you want to play. Maybe you are like me and you're mostly player versus environment. You don't do a lot of raids. You don't do anything that's, super challenging. You just like exploring the world and doing deeds and things like that. Well, then, I'll spec him to be more soloable. That is, somebody who can survive encounters as a person not in a group. But maybe you mostly raid, or you run adventures with a fellowship, and you don't need to worry about healing yourself because you've got a minstrel who's going to heal you, and you don't need to worry about debuffs because you've got a burglar who's going to do that. So you can focus on being, let's say, the huntsman, and you can pick the traits that do that. So yeah, Hilburn the glass cannon for sure. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to play around with traits. It's a great way to learn how to play your character, and every class has really radically different traits. I love specking out my captain's traits and seeing whether he's how I want to play. Captain is a particularly notorious one for really having strength in multiple lines, because you play really differently in a fellowship role in a raid than you would in solo capacity. So yeah, Blue Line Hunter for solo is good too. I kind of ended up getting stuck with red. I sort of tend to play that way. I really, really, really like Rain of Arrows, which is a skill that you can see down here. It does allow you to see the skill, even if you can't choose it yet. So in this case, I need 25 more ranks in other traits in order to choose this. But it is, at least you can hover over it to see the things. But it's really fun because you can explore however you want, and it costs you a little silver to respecialize in-game currency, but in-game currency is very easy to come by. You really don't need to worry much about it. All right. Now that I've explained traits a little bit, and thank you, Katie, for making that suggestion, let us continue to try to find what has excited the children in the Northwest in Mosswort. This looks like a crowd of children gathers around Tegwin and the vicious blade he has found. That might be an orc blade.
What do you want, stranger? No, I am not giving you this sword.
It is much better than the wooden sword I was using before.
I had to give him an even snarkier voice than he had. No, I found it, and it belongs to me now. My father says that when you're in a battle, you get to keep the spoils, and I stood up to those Uruks even when the town guard wouldn't. If anyone should get to keep that Uruk's blade, it's me. I know, seriously, he's just so annoying. Well, wait a moment. You're an adventurer, right? If you promise to train me in the adventuring arts, maybe I'll give you the sword. I'm not saying I will, you understand? I'm saying maybe. It'll depend on how good your training is. So what's my first lesson, stranger? What's the first thing I need to know to become an adventurer? I'll tell you what you need to do, Tegwin. Shut your mouth. Give me the sword and walk away. All right. All right. Tegwin smirks at you. Well, are you going to teach me or not? He asks. And I'm supposed to find the defeat circle located to the north of the town. Now, the defeat circle is where your character comes back to life if you get killed in the area. You will... apparently you can't get out that way. So remember when I talked about the milestone skill, for those who don't know, I can now select this destination. And what will happen is now I have a skill on my panel that will enable me to return to this milestone anytime I choose. It does have a cooldown. So if I return to it and then I go out adventuring again, I can't just return to it again. I think it's an hour cooldown or something. This is a really pretty place. I do love this about the world they've created here in Lotro. Everything is really pretty, except I'm so short that I'm stuck in the grass. They've just done a really nice job for a game that's such an old engine. Somebody, if you want to Google or wiki this, can we tell me what year Lotro first released with Shadows of Angmar? Tegwin considers the defeat circle. So what is this, he asks you. It's where you show up when I kill you, Tegwin. You explain that adventuring is dangerous work, and sooner or later your morale is likely to run out. And I'm going to point you over to where my morale is in a little bit. 2007, by the way, is when the game was released. 18 years ago. 18 years ago. I won't even comment on how old that makes me feel. So when your morale runs out, you'll find yourself at one of these defeat circles. Very funny, stranger. I know that fighting is dangerous. That's why I will try not to fight enemies that look to be beyond my capabilities. Your capabilities are none, twerp. None. But sometimes it's unavoidable, I suppose. And when that happens, if I'm defeated, I'll find myself at the nearest defeat circle to where I fell in battle. Yes, you will. All right, where next? And we need to enter the blacksmith shop and teach Tegwin about its utility. So we're going to head back into town. That's such a pretty game. Really, really is. Stop picking on the child. The child's a little punk. Oh, wait. Bevan has a mission for me. I'll take that while I'm here. He wants me to collect feathers from Krebine near the Old South Road. There's so many quests in here. See these little rings on the map? These are people who can give me quests. So, like, I'll talk to Raiden, the baker. They want me to deliver food and drink to people. So, as you can see on the right-hand side, you'll see a list of the quests that are in your quest log. And you can always see your full quest log by pressing L for log. And here you get to see, oh, in the prologue, I've got this one. My racial quests, I have this one. Special quests and Swanfleet quests. The colors tell you how difficult, relatively speaking, the quest should be, or what level they're supposed to be completed at. White is on level, and then you get yellow, orange, and red for difficult ones. And then they go down from like dark blue to light blue to green for ones that are below level. Just do all of them. This is why, by the way, I've not been able to get Sean, the Lord of the Mark, Sean Marchese, to play Lord of the Rings online. He remembers the days of EverQuest 2, also known as Evercrack because of its addictive characteristics. And he knows his limitations. He knows if he gets into Lotro, it's all over but the crying. All right. All right, Tegwin.
Hardy spends more time fixing horseshoes than he does forging swords.
I mean no insult, Scardy, but it's true. What use does an adventurer have with a shop like this? Well, you explain that as an adventurer engages in combat, equipped weapons and armor sustain durability damage, and folks such as Scardy Benblade are able to repair them so you can keep using them. Of course, if you are a VIP, I don't believe that is anything to worry about. Shopkeepers throughout Middle-earth can sell an adventurer all sorts of equipment. Yes, that's true. You really won't be dealing with the stuff you buy from shopkeepers. You'll either be using things you find in quests, or as you start to craft, which I will get into. As Katie will tell you, I'll probably stop at every node along the way and get wood or ore, because I like to craft my own equipment. Anyway, Scardy clears his throat, speaks up. That all costs coin, young Tegwin, horseshoes and swords alike. But if that raid's a sign of things to come, swords might become more in demand. So now we have to... Oh, hold on. Scardy has a quest for me. This quest must be unlocked on your account. You received enough Lotro points to cover this purchase from a little extra never hurts part 1. Purchase the quest, click on the button. This is weird. All right, I'll accept that, but I'm not gonna worry about it for now. Oh, I see. I turn it in. All right. All right. So now I have a steed. Mount skill. All right. Stop the presses. You craft. Thank you, Stephen. It's not possible to play without stopping at resource nodes. All right. And now I'm supposed to find the training dummy, which should be out here somewhere, right? There it is.
Now this is more like it.
And I have to pick one of these. Because I'm a hunter, I cannot use heavy armor. That's why there is a red box around that particular choice. So I'm going to choose the medium armor, which is the leather gloves. And you'll see right beneath it, it says medium armor. You'll come to learn that it's always light, medium, heavy as it's ranked here when you're getting an armor choice. Finish now. Oh, level 3. And then an advertisement for the Lotro store, right? All right. I'm going to equip those gloves, talk to Tegwin. Well, I'm ready for you to show off your combat skills. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Actually, I'm supposed to use quick shot. Quick shot's this one.
That was all right, I guess.
Use penetrating shot. That's this one. So it's basically, in this case, it's a little tutorial to help you learn the skills that you have, the basic skills of your class. Use barrage, pinning shot, or lingering wound. Okay. Well, that's blind side. So that gives me enough to do pinning shot. Okay.
That was pretty good, I suppose.
So now I get to bring the blade to Maneldir because he's given it to me. It's weird. I'm still stuck in combat. The combat music's playing. Okay, now it's stopped. I'm going to pick up a quest while I'm here. What's up, Wenna?
My husband was once like you. He gave it up to settle down.
You're an adventurer. My husband was once like you. I wanted her to say, until he took an arrow to the knee. That would have been a great little Skyrim reference. Oh, I have more mail. Let's check on the mail. Another deed bestowed. So now these are skill deeds. So as you use your skills, you'll accrue credit towards these deeds. Like in this case, quick as the wind, which is quick shot. Once I do it 750 times, I'll get 5 Lotro points. But you'll do that so fast because that's your basic combat skill. Deed completed. So I finished a most curious hobbit, which gave me basically nothing. And then new mail. So Bingo Boffin sends a request for assistance. And if I'm interested in learning more, I just seek him out his comfortable hobbit hole north of Town Hole in Mitchell Delving, the principal town of the Shire. So I'll go visit him in when I get to town. In the meantime, most of the time, your mail is just a really good way for you to, if you don't have a vault, it's a good way to transfer stuff between characters. It's a good way to send stuff to your friends in game, things like that. All right, Maneldir.
He recovered the blade from Tegman before he hurt himself.
He recovered the blade before he hurt himself. Kudos to you. All right. All right. So it's going to give me a short bow, but then I also get to choose either a dagger, blade, or hand axe. Notice I can't use the mace. That's because I'm not able to use the mace. So I'm going to choose the tarnished dagger because, of course, as a river hobbit, remember, I have a slight bonus to dagger use. I've been away from the land that was my home for many years now, Hilbin. I was once one of the Dunedain, my friend.
the ranges of the north, and one of their several charges was to safeguard these lands and their peoples from harm. Their other duties, well, they are likely as far away as they've always been and not my concern any longer. I will not speak of those today. But a peaceful village has been attacked and some of its people slain. Help me replenish my supplies of the healing herb called... I'm sorry. Help me replenish my supplies of the healing herb called Kingsfoil and defeat any of the creatures nearby that may threaten Mosswort. You will know Kingsfoil by its sweet smell and the feel of its leaves. Look for it on the rolling hills to the east of the village. So he wants me to, you'll see here on the list of objectives, I have to collect 4 little things of Kingsfoil and defeat 6 beasts. And now I don't know if my stream is... Okay. My Mac went quiet because I hadn't touched anything. Where did the info that it's supposed to be Mitchell delving come from? Trying to remember. It has to do with the with Old English, I believe, but now I can't remember. I'll have to look that up. I will try to have an answer, a firm answer for you by the next stream. All right. So I get to go and do some things, right? So let's go collect King's Foil and defeat beasts. Oh, I need to equip the things that I've gotten. Otherwise, I won't do enough damage. I don't want the table knife. So I want the tarnished dagger and the regular knife. Do I have anything else here that I can, that's equipped, like armor of any kind? And the answer is no, I do not. But that's okay. At least not, oh, what? A stone that gives me some bonuses. It's a pocket item. All right, that's good enough. In the meantime, popping over to... Yeah, I used to say Mickle all the time, and then we figured it out. And am convinced. All right. Pop off the inventory there and set this as my quest guide focus. It already is set. So, oh, that's weird. Oh, that must be where the... No.
Raid on Mosswort by that band of Uruks. It's left our defenses in a terrible state, friend.
Well, what? Oh, there we go. Wow, lots of people to talk to here. Oh, I see. I'm supposed to deliver lunch to some of them. Probably not to this guy, though. Defeat the wargs. So tons and tons of quests for my quest log. Oh, I see some Kingsfoil out there. All right, let's talk to Guion. Okay. Oh, lots of Kingsfoil. I'll get all 4 of those right away. Yeah, there are some pronunciation things that it took me a long time to figure out, and that's probably the one that took me the longest. You'd think that I'd remember the crazy stuff that led me to that conclusion, but I don't. Oh, I can read all those steeds in my bag and just, you're right. Thank you for that. That'll get rid of some of these extra. And I think... Yep. So yeah, the Old English form is M-I-C-L, but because it's Old English, it's pronounced Mitchell. And that's because the C in Old English, when it's before an E in Old English, is palatized, which is pronounced like the CH. All right. Defeat beasts. Oh, there's a boar over here, buried in the woods here. Oh, he knocked me out.
Pending loot. You've learned loot from a nearby corpse. Use the alerts panel loot button to open up your pending loot panel. Or do like I do and go to your options and go to, is it UI settings or combat options? It's combat options, isn't it? There's a way to auto loot. I don't remember where it is anymore. At least there used to be. Well, I'll figure that out later. Katie might be able to give me that information. Ah, there's a boar. Okay. There's, oh, he's not a real enemy. So in this case, you're just doing some quick kills. Every level you may be granted new skills and passive abilities, so your skills increase. So in this case, I've gained a new skill called Stance Strength. And this is where you can change your stance. So as you gain other stances, you can do things like, worry more about precision than strength and things along those lines. All right, I'm going to sort of rearrange my bar. You'll see that when you hover something over, you'll see those shadowed boxes. Those are quick bars or quick bars. So you could add more skills there. You'll see some really great organizational structures for people who are advanced levels because they know where all their skills are. So we'll have a little fun with one of these skills. You'll see there, I'm going to set a trap. And this way, when he comes, instead of knocking me out like most of them do, well, I just killed him instead. It'll stop them in place. That's a great little way to deal with some tough enemies. Not that the moss-eyed boars are tough enemies. Suitable branches. These must be from another quest, right? Oh, the music is so great. So I'm supposed to collect 8 of these branches. Okay. So one of the things that you quickly learn playing Lotro is to try to get as many of your quests done when you're in an area as possible. Like right now, I'm done with this quest, and you can see over on the right-hand side that this quest is now done. Bring the King's Foil to Misthallow by the East Gate of Mosswort. But if I do that, I'm already out here, and I'm supposed to get more of these suitable branches. So it's best if I try to do all the quests in one area before I turn them all in. And one of the ways you can do that is by using the map. So in this case, as I hover over, so you can see here, I am the red arrow just outside of Mosswort. And if I'm not going to, a Thildine coin is not going to be a quest I can turn in yet. Under UI settings, always loot all. Thank you. I believe I have that turned on, which is why I haven't had to worry about it. But I will double check that when I come back out. In fact, let's just do that now. Oh, apparently I do not, because I don't see any of the stuff that I would have looted. Under UI, always loot all. There it is. Boom. All right. Thank you for that. Oh, there's my loot panel because I hadn't. So I'm going to loot all now. So as I hover over, as I pull up this map, and then I see the quest on the left, I can toggle them on and off with check marks and then see where ones are. So like Prologue is going to tell me to go back to Misthallow. That's why there's a ring there to my south. The Life of a Guard is real close to me. In fact, if I turn, it's going to be right in there. Geralt lost a boot. That's all the way down by the river. Lunch for the Lookouts. There's one more in town. A number of uses is everywhere. So it's probably like a kill a certain number of creatures. A Hobbit's Home from Home. I think that's also in the Shire. And then a Warg Among Wolves is over there. Okay. So I will keep those active on the map, and that'll enable me to see where to go to do these things. All right. So what was the number of uses? Oh, feathers from the Crebine. Okay, so that's the number of uses. That's why it's a map that was so visible everywhere. The life of a guard is collect suitable branches, and that was, oops. Oh, there's a wandering plains wolf. I like wolves, but I got to kill you. All right. Why is it? Apparently, I'm too close to the city. When you're close to the city, then it's... Well, that's annoying. Okay, what now if I'm out here, I can see... Okay. So I need to find those branches, suitable branches. Such great music, by the way. There's one. Oh, and there's a couple Crebine. Oh, and another branch. See, it's the whole thing. Complete as many of them as you can in one area. Oh boy, Rain of Arrows would be great about now. I mean, really? Because I'm going to pull one and they're all going to show up. I don't think a trap's going to help me with airborne characters, but it could be wrong. Oh, well, maybe not. I thought for sure if I pulled one, they'd all pull, but... And pull is a term that we use, for those of you who never played an MMO or anything like that, is when we... when a character, when an enemy comes and attacks you, you pull the foe. I can take them. Thank you for your confidence, Katie. No, they're not green. All right, suitable branch. Don't have it memorized from last time. Of course I don't have it memorized. I've only done this once. This particular quest region. All right, how many? I need one more Crebine feather. And I think I need... This happens a lot where it... There we go. Okay. Can't walk past the big rock. So I'm sort of in the area where those branches should be. Oh, there's one. Two, actually. But I think I only need one more. No, I need two more. Perfect. So now I will have grabbed all 8 branches and can turn that quest in. I just need to collect one more Crebine feather, and I think I see one over here. There he is. Okay. So now what are the other ones? There's Warg Among Wolves. Geralt lost a boot. Lunch for the Lookouts. Those guys will be in town. And then these other two, the Hobbit's Home from Home and the Ithildin coin, I can't even turn in until I get to Mitchell Delving. So I'm going to highlight Geralt lost a boot. I'm going to head down to the river. Look at that. There's the river. Oh, copper deposit. Oh, I have no crafting ability, so I won't be able to do it. You're going to be like, you don't have the right tool, craft tool for that. Breaks my crafter's heart. Oh, wait, you know what I forget? I forget that I have horses. Of course, that doesn't mean that I won't draw. Oh, I'll get out of your way. Let's do Steed of Starlight. So that's the horse that I'll be riding on for now. And I'll just find my way to the boot. The finish area up north, yeah, Forachel. Ithilien was pretty, yeah. My least favorite area in Lotro is Moria. Minas Morgul's a close second. All right. Dismount. Pretty much right on top of the boot. So it should be here. Yeah, Angmar's also not a great one. Oh, there's a human enemy, a southern footpad. Woohoo! Now I'm level 5. So all those quests that were like orange are now not. They're all white and even blue because they're all easy now. Is it green? All right. So head back to defeat the warg and then head back to town and turn in the lunch. So, all right. Let's go find that warg, shall we? Let's get on a horse. Get on your horse and ride. Oh, there's mail. Title awarded. New mail. Comb stable. Okay, of course, because I hit level 5, this enables me to go and do some quests at a stable. If I didn't have a horse, it's a good way to get one. In a way, there's a part of me that feels like I need to create an entire new account before I did this so that I wouldn't get to take advantage of all my free lifetime VIP stuff. But that's just too much trouble to go through. So just know that if you're playing this as free to play, I'm essentially playing this and getting the advantage of paying for VIP every month, except that I paid for it once years ago and have never had to pay for it again. They obviously don't have that ability anymore. They got rid of that a very long time ago. I think it was only for the first 6 months that you could buy that. And I thought, I don't know if I'll play enough to justify it, but I have. What did I get? Oh, just junk, just stuff to sell. Okay. How far away is this warg? Oh, I'm still a ways away. It's on the other side of town. Well, it's a fair spit take, Slice, considering how many games in my Steam library are just decorative. Oh, hey, I pulled a foe. Fine. If you want to die, I will kill you too. I guess I better stay off my horse. That is one of the challenges when you are on horseback, you'll still pull. Ah, the music. The music here is so good. The music in this game may be one of its real highlights. I know that the early stuff was composed by Chance Thomas, I think. Katie, was that his name? And I had a playlist of all of it. It was so good. And then Bill Champagne is more recent, yeah. All right, so here we're getting close to defeat the warg at the Howling Stones. I'm in the Howling Stones, and I've gotten a new deed, and it's the Perils of Swanfleet. So this basically, instead of finding the cities of this area, which was the many folk of the Glanduin, the Perils of Swanfleet find all the places where the bad guys are. In this case, I have found the Howling Stones, but eventually I have to find all these other places. And wow, there are a lot of them. See those little red dots around me? Those are all enemies. And I don't want them all coming at me at once later, so. And thank you, Katie. Yes, to Chance Thomas. I was glad I'd remembered his name. Okay, one thing I need to do, this enables me to move elements around. My vitals are being covered over by the enemies. Oh well. I'll figure it out later because now I've opponent vitals. That's what I need to move. Okay. Because I couldn't see my own. All right. Do I have any like food items that would help me? I don't, but that's okay. All right. Is the game set in the third age? Martin, good question. It is. It is absolutely set in the third age. In fact, there are some quests where you follow very closely in the footsteps of the actual company. So it's like, you are doing things not exactly in parallel, but right around the same time. What's cool about it, though, is there are also instances that take you back in time. So, for instance, somebody might be telling you the story of the Stone of Erech, and then all of a sudden you're playing as Isildur, and you're walking around the hills in the valley of Erech, and there's the stone, and you're talking to the men of the mountains. So there's all sorts of moments like that. There's a ton of first age or a ton of second age stuff along those lines, going back to the origins of Gondor and Arnor. It's really cool in that regard. I'm thinking of all the Mordor stuff where you get to see it both before and after. There's a lot of places like that where you see it before and after. And they did a really, really good job with that. Okay. We're getting pretty close to that warg. The warg isn't here, but you find some tracks to follow. Now, I happen to have where all the names of things are on, but that isn't always the case. If you don't want the graphics of that, you don't have to have it. It's kind of, it's almost cheating in a way. That the trail ends at a grisly scene. Perhaps the deer's body holds clues. The warg emerges from the shadows to defend its meal. There she is, the Howling Stone's warg. Oh, this is going to be an interesting battle. So I used a pinning shot so that I can take out this wolf. Oh boy, that didn't last for very long at all. I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I should have set a trap. Right, Katie? I should have set a trap. All right. Deed bestowed. I'm now a warg slayer of Swanfleet. I've defeated 1. Once I've killed 30, then I've finished that first tier of that deed. All right. So you'll see now I've turned all of these little mithril coin icons. That's what those are. Those would, for mithril, which is a coin that you can buy with real currency, so I don't usually use it, can port you back to the person to turn into. But I'm going to go back into town using my milestone skill instead. Where is it? There it is. So I should put that here anyway in the skill bar. God forbid you don't set a trap or use pinning shot. It was orange. All right. Lunch for the lookouts. So I want to see where I go for lunch for the lookouts. And I don't. Oh, there they are. Okay. Oh, I guess I got to pick up another quest. Talk to this person. Okay. Oh, this person wants a quest. Oh, no, I'm not doing these. So every once in a while, you get these quests where get to this place without running out of time. To quote Admiral Akbar, it's a trap. All right. Now, here, I don't understand why I need to be DoorDash for this whole town, by the way. What server are we on? We are on Landreval. Belmont, good to see you, man. Oh, I don't want to talk to them yet. Who do I need to still take this to? Oh, not there. I need to go back to that one. I know, the music's phenomenal, isn't it? Belmont, Katie tells me it's your birthday, so happy birthday to you. I'd sing, but you really don't want that. My birthday gift to you will be not singing. All right. So now you'll see that I can turn in all of those quests with the exception of a filled-in coin, which I can't because it's not here. So I'm going to go to, looks like Bevan, Redden, Wenna, Maneldir, Mary. So a lot of people to talk to. I think I get to turn in a quest to this guy. Yep. I'm glad to see you return safely and victorious. With any luck, the wolves will return to their usual selves before too long. There is something foul in the air. I forgot that I'm supposed to do voices. And I fear our troubles are not entirely over. Still, I think the people of Mosswort can breathe a bit easier now, in no small part thanks to your heroics. I'll come back to Maneldir because it's a quest. It's a epic quest, and he'll just give me another thing in the chain. Ilaria, is this one to turn in? Oh, no, she wants to give me another one.
It has always been a quiet town.
Ah, this music is so chill.
He's going to be so happy.
Bring his missing favorite boot to Geralt by the north gate. But I got to turn in a quest to this person first.
What can I do for you?
Thanks for helping out. These are hard times. If we support each other, we'll get through it. Another level. So now I can do outfits. Okay, who else do I still need to talk to? Bevan at the north gate. Geralt by the north gate. Maneldir by the east gate. Marion at the east gate. And somebody by the name of Larry Grud. Oh, that's in a different place. That's in Clegor. So, I think. All right. What are all these other... Oh, there's Geralt. There's the Witcher. Finally get some Athelos. Notice he's still talking and I've walked away. This'll be the... A lot of times you'll get a quest in one area that takes you to another. And that's what this is. This is the, hey, you've done this for our neighbors. Now you need to come and help us in our town. You've never heard of Chlangaran, you say? I think that's Chlan, like sort of a guttural sort of sound. I'm going to look over here in the chat, and by the way, and see. I have to voice Gleowina to sound like Yosemite Sam. I love that. Okay, so I'll accept that quest because, of course, I'm going to go to Langaran. In the meantime, though, I still need to bring the Kraban feathers to Bevan. Hey, Bevan, here's some feathers. Aha, he gives me some food. So the food, by the way, for those who've never played the game, food is typically a buffing thing, like it gives you an extra skill or extra stat points in a particular thing. In this case, might, which is useless for a hunter who draws his damage from agility. But sometimes it's things like, a food that'll make it harder to succumb to poisons, or a food that gives you more will, or something along those lines. Okay. So I'm supposed to still go to the east gate then for those two. Okay. So go to the east gate. And by the way, I'll stream until 8 o'clock Pacific here, so another 20 minutes or so. And like I said, I'll go through my inventory so you don't have to see me do that painful thing. So the next time I play, it'll be a little cleaner.
Thank you for the king's foil and for helping dissuade some of the more aggressive creatures from straying too near the village. Against such beasts, Ellery and Bevan and the others of the guard are more than a match, but against Uruks, I fear they will be outclassed. The question now is whether Madthrug's band was alone, or if there are others of his kind waiting for the next chance to strike.
Madthrug's band. That actually sounds like a really good opening act for somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madthrug's band.
Anyway, I'm going to own it. I'm just going to own it. I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
Mosswort is not the only village in Swanfleet, Hilburn. Can I ask you to check on the stores who live nearby? Visit the stablemaster here in the village for a quick means of traveling to the village of Clegor in the Stourvales. They should be told what happened in Mosswort and guard themselves against possible attack. The stablemaster is to the southwest and provides efficient travel options for reaching distant lands.
Yes, he does. I will say there are, as with any good game, there are mods, or in this case, what they call plugins. And there's one that I don't have it set up on here. I think it's called Stable something or other, Stable Map, Stable, I don't know. But it tells you if you want to get to someplace that's really distant, you have to take like 4 different stables to get there. It tells you the easiest route. Catch me and Mitchell Delving making pies for the kinship. I love crafting, and I do that sort of stuff. Like, I'm just going to make stuff. All right. Thank you for these branches. And he's going to give me hard biscuits. So these, see, instead of giving me a boost to a stat, they remove a wound or a poison, and they give me a small boost to in combat and out of combat regeneration of morale and power. And that's these things over here, the green bar and the blue bar. Okay, so I get to talk to Scardy. I have to collect boar meat, and it looks like the rest is in another town. So Village in the Sky, Tulan Garan, and Geralt Lost No Boot are going to be someplace else. So I want to focus on these others, like Autumn Doesn't Last and Squeaky Doors. So let's go talk to Scardy in his blacksmith shop. Actually, let's talk to this guy, see what he wants to do. The Wolves King's Foil. Oh, collect more King's Foil. Okay, that'll be a nice, easy one to do. Oh, not talking to her. That's the timing one. Stable guy, that's the one. Oh, not the healer shop, blacksmith shop. Sorry, I keep popping over. Squeaky Doors. Oh, I love this music. I can just sit here and listen. I'm just happy listening to the music. Belmont, you're going to be doing some other some of the original PC ones. We need to talk, because that's something I'm planning on doing as well with PPP plays, is getting some of those older games up and running. I don't know how far back I can go because, well, we can get into that another time. But some of them, are like console only, and I don't have an old PS2 sitting around. All right, we can apply some grease to his door hinges. Well, now what? Oh, to the healer's shop door. Okay. And now it hinges the door to Cadigan's house. Because I'm sure I know where that is. All right. Okay, over there. Oh, wow. The Beam software was in the 80s. Good luck with that. I'm trying to figure out how to get those to run properly. I've only found them in browsers, and the problem is streaming from a browser window gets a little... Oh, squeaking rat. Well, going to have to kill you. All right, talk to Marion at the east gate of Mosswort. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed doing this with you guys. Lotra's an old, comfortable place to be. As you can imagine, it came out 17 or 18 years ago, like I said. Rats in the Village. I don't like the sound of that. Is that not like the quintessential low-level quest in every RPG ever? Rats. All right. So that's done. So it looks like, okay, Thilden Coin is out of town. Hobbit's Home from Home is out of town. Clegger is out of town. Village in the Sky, that's Clegger as well. Find the hill southeast of Howling Stones. That's local. Clegger, Langaran, Boarmeat, and Kingsfoil. So Autumn Doesn't Last, The Wolves, Kingsfoil, and Scout Beyond Howling Stones are really the only ones to turn on. So we'll see where they are. And sure enough, Scout Beyond is to the east of Mosswort. Wolves Kingfoil is near where the Warg was, and Autumn Doesn't Last is everywhere because it's just kill the boars. Oops, wrong way. Okay, let's kill some boars. Scout Beyond. Okay. I'm going to go for that hill and just kill the critters that I find on the way. I hadn't thought about torrents. Oh, there's another wolf. Don't like that I can't craft yet, and since I can't craft, I can't pick up the branches. So this quest has you go to the top of a hill and do an emote. Remember how we did the wave earlier when we were in Lindleby? That is the same kind of thing here, except that instead of waving, I am going to be getting to the top of the hill, pretty much the top of this hill right here. And it'll tell me when, right? We'll get pop-up text. There we go. This seems to be the hill Ilari described. So I look from the hilltop. Now, I can either type /look, or I can just click the button next to the quest that says look. From this vantage point, the basin through which runs the Old South Road seems mostly quiet, and now I get to talk to Ilari on the eastern side of Mosswort. But before I do that, I'm going to collect the Kingsfoil, which is back near where that Warg was. And what's cool is I'll probably be able to finish this up and turn these quests in just in time to wrap the stream for tonight. Level 7. They do such a good job early on of making you feel accomplished because you level really quickly at first. Like up through around 30 is like really fast. But then it changes. Martin, thank you. Get some rest. And yeah, there will be a Shadow of Mordor stream. There will definitely be a Shadow of Mordor stream at some point. Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. Basically, both are Assassin's Creed Mordor, but they're fun, and they give us a chance to mock some of the more interesting adaptation choices. Oh, I have not been applying my trait points. Good question. I forget how quickly you level, and that would be a thing. Yeah, look at that. So I have 6 points available. So I can put some points into True Shot, which increases the debuff from Penetrating Shot, or I could just do this one, which gives me minus. It makes my bow inductions faster, or I can set a tripwire. I'm going to do that because that's a really good skill to have. What's over here? Impact arrows, strong draw. These cost me 2 points though, but I'll take it. 1% range damage, and then let me do critical eye for 2. Okay. Okay. So, okay, it looks like it's for the very ripe Kingsfoil. So it's all soft and mushy like a really ripe banana. I mean, what do they mean very ripe Kingsfoil? All right. So I'm supposed to collect 7 pieces of Kingsfoil. It should be just about right for a near 8 o'clock end. And I'll use the well, not the milestone skill because that's still cooling down, but I'll use one of the mithril coins to there's treasure cache. By the way, for anybody wondering, the Shattered Pitcher is another crafting node. It's for scholars, whereas the branches, of course, are for woodworkers, and the metal nodes are for prospectors. Okay, so when you find treasure chests, it's just a deed. So in this case, that would be under, well, yeah, Treasure of Swanfleet. Find ancient treasure caches, and when you get it, you get a title, Treasure Seeker of Swanfleet, 2,000 virtue experience points. Virtue experience points, that I hear you ask, what is virtue? Let's see. So under the traits, you go to your virtues. These are various traits, various virtues, I should say. Things like honesty or idealism or discipline. And each one of these gives you different bonuses. So, and eventually you'll unlock all 5 slots and be able to apply 5 of those. But okay. Katie, just so you're aware, I will not be able to read that. It's a screenshot on my tiny phone. So we'll have to do the rating thing later. I don't have enough room to do that. Oh, no. Well, I'm going to get rid of the onions. They don't do me any good. The eggs and onions. Get rid of the trash old knife. The table knife. Literally the table knife. And the tarnished... the table knife. There we go. And I'll take those. Okay. So now, once again, I have basically a full thing. Grant the Elf Dance of Old Traditions emote. Okay, I'll grant that. Is there anything here that I can just get rid of? Because I don't think I can get to my vault yet. I don't have access, even as a VIP, I don't have access to my vault. Long-time listener, thank you, Star Wars Oddball. Good to hear from you. All right. So much inventory I've got to sort through. All right, let's see. So we need to try to find 3 more Kingsfoil bits, and then we can go back to the town. Oh, I sure hope that when my map goes dark like that, the stream didn't get interrupted, did it? The envelope in the top bag is a usable item. Okay. Yep, it's titled. Yep, you're right. I'll figure that all out. There we go. One more. All right. I'm going to cheat, some might say, and spend Mithril coin to pop back over there. Okay, so I'm going to turn that in, the Wolves King's foil. And what other ones can I turn in here? Talk to Larry on the eastern side of Mosswort. Okay. The east gate. That's this gate. Is Larry outside? No? Oh, there's a Larry. No relation to Larry.
All appears quiet. That's good.
Find the intersection of the track that leaves the north gate of Mosswort and the Old South Road. See how perfectly that then segues to going to the next town? So they do a good job of that. Oh, I forgot to collect more boar meat. All right, well, I'm going to call it because I guess I can kill a few more. A few more boars if they're out there. Nah. You know what? I'm going to call it because this is a really good time to call it. I wonder if I could turn in any tasks, by the way. Tasks are like quests that you sort of give yourself if you've gotten a lot of loot. For instance, I've gotten a few ripped skins. Is that something they're looking for? No, they're looking for broken daggers, broken swords, light carapaces, small wings, or squishy goos, or torn furs. Now, I have some of those, I'm sure, but I don't have 10, and that's how many you have to turn in for a quest. I have 9 mangy skins. That doesn't count. 8 torn furs. Yeah, that's one. See, but I don't have 10, so I could take that task, but it wouldn't do me any good. All right. Let me exit the game. Pop over to the Mac where I can then say goodbye. And turn off the camera. There we go. All right. Turn on the chat overlay one more time before I leave. Thank you all for joining me tonight. This was something I wasn't sure it was going to go well. I had no idea how this would turn out, streaming something on one computer through another computer. I had just no idea whether it was going to work well or not. Thank you to Katie and Slice, who both helped me in testing the stream before we went live. And a big thanks also to Katie for moderating throughout the conversation. This was a lot of fun. I promise you, I will definitely get the inventory managed. I'll see. I don't remember when I'll have access to my vault, but that will help because then I can clear some of that stuff into my inventory for all of my characters. One of the things that you can do is you have your personal vault, but then you also have a shared storage space. It's a great way to transfer stuff from one character to another as well. But this was a lot of fun, so thank you all for joining me. Next Tuesday, this is Tuesday. Friday night, when I stream the next time, I am planning on doing something on the tabletop. I'm not entirely sure what yet. It might be the adventure book game. This one looks really intriguing. It is soloable, and it's 20 minutes per chapter, so it might be a really good fit. So that'll be a lot of fun. I may also open Journeys in Middle-earth and take a look at that. But that's a little more intimidating. I might need to look through that and read the rules before I try to play that one. What other ones might I do? You know, here's one other crafty thing. Remember, okay, we did build a miniature little Rohan guy last time, but I got to admit that was a little weird because you couldn't really see him because he's like this big, and even with the camera above, I had to hold him up, and you're like, can't see this guy. I'm still going to do the miniature stuff, but probably just the painting because I feel like that'll be more visible and a little more interesting to watch. But one other thing that I might do is honestly just sit around, listen to music, and do like a coloring book. Would that be fun? I don't know. Would that be cool to just sit there and watch me fill in, I don't know, a picture of Helm and then talk about Helm? Because I would talk about him while I'm doing it. That might be a fun thing to do. So there's all sorts of other things that we can do that are playing in Middle Earth, that are just enjoying the things that we can do that are Middle Earth related. Last one, thank you for the tip about, because I am, of course, VIP, the quest from Wenda and get vault access in Hangaran. That would be good. So yeah, I don't know. There's just all sorts of fun things. But Friday night will be a tabletop night. So we'll take a look at something. It'll probably be one of those fun games to take a look at, and then I think I'll go back to doing maybe not Lotro next Tuesday. I think I might stream a different game, maybe a Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, and then go back to Lotro the next time I stream. So like an every other computer, game stream. Just like with the miniatures, I would do that maybe every other tabletop day, or Legos every other tabletop day. So remember to turn on notifications. Please make sure you're subscribed. This channel is going to be phenomenal once we get it all squared away. We are looking at ways of converting all of the back catalog of the Prancing Pony episodes and the Rings of Power wrap-up episodes into video so that you can watch them here on the YouTube channel. It's going to just be a phenomenal resource for you to come and find all things Prancing Pony podcast. So the PPP, the TTT, Rings of Power wrap-up, and PPP plays all here on one home on YouTube. Twitch will continue to get my streams for the PPP plays. One other thing that I want to tell you about, kind of excited. I was thinking about this when we were going through, when I opened the little village, right? This little guy, this little Sam's house from the Hobbit village from Weta. I just realized as I get away from the mic, you can't hear me. Sam's house from Weta Workshop. As we were opening that the last time we did a tabletop night, I thought what I might do is do some sort of like a Matham Mondays deal. Now it wouldn't be live because I'd have to edit it ahead of time, but to do like some sort of an unboxing of something. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a piece of merch, maybe it's a Weta sculpture, something like that. I was originally thinking of doing it as a substitute for Mailbag Mondays on the TTT, but then I realized that 2 out of every 3 people that listen to that show listen to it and don't watch it. Most of the people who consume the TTT are listening to it in podcast form. So obviously that would make for a very terrible podcast. So it's got to be video, which means it's got to be PPP plays. So you might end up getting me 3 times a week on PPP plays, 1 with a pre-recorded video and then 2 live streams. So look for that. Not anytime in the near future, maybe in a few weeks, but we'll get that set up at some point. Thanks again for joining me. Thanks again to all of you, and I will see you all Friday night.